Hi, folks. Again, this is Barry with Barry's 8-Track and Classic Car Radio Repair. And in case you're wondering why I'm wearing my work uniform tonight, it's because I've got a special treat for you guys. We have the actual customer that the unit is going to be going back to, and we've got him right here. This is Matt Trebone from Las Vegas, Nevada, and you can see him right there. And if, Matt, you'll turn to the right a little bit and face that camera.
This way?
There you go. And,
is it getting me?
While I'm, Yep, you're going.
Cool.
And, while I'm unpacking your unit, you can kind of describe the history of it and all that stuff that you were hoping to get across to the public.
Sure. Now this particular unit that we sent over here to Barry's Classic Car Radio Repair is taken from a 1979 Dodge Little Red Express. It was a very rare truck. Only 5,100 of them were actually made. In 78 they made 2,100. In 79 they made 5,100 of them. And although I don't really have a picture for you, they had smokestacks on the side. It was like a high performance truck. As a matter of fact, the truck was the fastest production vehicle built in 1979, faster than even Corvettes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and it was because of the fact that somehow they got around the emissions control.
Ah, okay.
That's when the emissions were starting to become a big thing. But nevertheless, it was the first car I ever sold when I lived in Phoenix from Cal Worthington Dodge. And if you remember Cal Worthington Dodge...
That kind of rings a bell, yeah.
Remember, if you're looking for a better auto deal...
Ah, okay,
I will stand upon my head to beat all deals. I will stand upon my head till my ears are turning red. Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal.
All right.
So that was his slogan. And we had to wear 10-gallon hats. And it was down in Phoenix. And I sold one of those when I was 19. I'm quite a bit older now. But I always kind of wanted one. And I found one down in Lake Havasu City. And I traded a Harley for the truck. And Reese and I, my son, which you can't see here, I'm trying to get...
Yeah, there's the camera that you guys are talking into right now. So.
Reese and my son here, he's been helping me rebuild it. And this is one of the final components to put back in it. And Barry was good enough to repair it for us in perfect timing, as a matter of fact.
And Matt was good enough to pay me a huge chunk of money to do it. And
well, that's part of the game.
The actual shop visit was kind of unexpected, so I had already had Matt's unit packed. So we're just going to go ahead and unwrap it just like it came to the customer's house, because this is the customer right here. So we're just going to go ahead and unpack the unit, and you'll see what to expect when you get your unit back in the mail. You're going to get a box. And then I've got a little folder with the customer's paperwork. It normally also has a demonstration DVD, but I hadn't done that yet, so that's what we're doing right now, is making the demo DVD. And so we got a little packet full of receipt and information, all that stuff, and then we have a very conscientiously packed radio.
Nice.
That goes to Mr. Matthew Trebone from Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is a converted unit. We've ripped out all the existing guts, and we've gone back in with a modern FM conversion. And the radio is now capable of powering 4 speakers. It was already AM/FM, so I can't brag about adding FM to it. But we did add an aux input in place of the existing CB microphone input, which was the most sensible place and most convenient place, of course, to catch that. And so we're just going to go ahead and rip this box open here, just like it's Christmas morning, and the pressure's on me now, because we're doing the demo DVD, letting the customer see it for the first time right here on camera. If something messes up, it will be a day in infamy. Okay, this is a AM/FM radio with a CB radio also built into it. Unfortunately, the conversion electronics does not allow the CB function to stay in there due to space limitations and other factors. So it is just an AM/FM radio that's much more powerful than the original. It's technically 180 watts, I think they say. True honest watts, that's 22.5 watts per channel, for a total of about maybe 87 or 88 watts. Almost as powerful as a Marshall stack, which is the amplifiers that people like Ted Nugent play through. Jimi Hendrix used a Marshall stack. Almost all your major rock stars in the 70s played through a Marshall stack. This radio produces almost that much power. So we've got this is Matt's half of the wiring harness. We don't need that at the moment because I've already got this harness, same type of harness wired into my bench so that it saves time.
Nice.
We just set the radio on stand here. We're going to change camera positions here. I believe the UUT camera is right here, and we're going to see if we can find some way to prop that right side up so it doesn't look silly. This will probably work pretty well. Alrighty, keep it reasonably level. Well, we may just have to live with it tilted. That might work. Alright, so we're going to plug our connector in. Matt has already wired this connector into his truck, into his speakers, and his hot and ground and all that stuff. At least that will be the case in a day or so.
Right. When we get
And
to
so
back home.
we'll just pretend that this is the harness that connects to Matt's truck wiring. So we're just going to plug this thing. We're going to make sure that our power is off to the unit first. Not that it's all that important, but just to be safe, we're going to plug this in. And we're going to hook an antenna up to it, wherever the antenna might be on this unit. Let's see here, in the back possibly. Yeah, here we are on the smooth, almost on the side. Where did that antenna connector go? Up, here we are. In the back, okay. Okay, set this puppy up there. Make sure it's turned off before we hit the power. Not that it is necessary, but just to be kind of fun about it. And we don't have, let's see, we got a balance control here. And we'll be using a virtual fader, so we're going to try to find an outer knob for that outer shaft, which controls the fader. And since every radio I work on is a different one from one to the other, I never have the right knobs on hand, so we just have to kind of look around until we find it. Okay, so there's our tone control. That's what we're going to need to adjust our virtual fader function also. This is just the tuner control. The original fader is not being used because they have they're kind of self-destructed by design, so I prefer to use the virtual fader function because that control is going to last a lot longer. Alrighty, so we'll get a little something here to tune this thing with. And don't really need a knob for the tuner. It's easy enough to grab it with my thumb. We'll just go ahead and do that, I guess. Alrighty, we got our balance control set to center, tone control. We're going to turn that all the way treble for the moment and see if we can find a knob to use as a volume knob. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to apply power to the radio. We're going to fire it up, and once I figure out what I don't have connected correctly, which is almost always the case, then we'll fix it, and then we'll radio work. So we'll turn it on and see how it does so far. Okay, it's actually working.
Nice.
Alrighty, so there's the we're tuned to an FM station at the moment, and we have retained the stereo light function. And just momentarily, I normally don't crank it up real loud because it's pretty powerful, but just momentarily we'll see what this thing will do. So there's a pretty decent amount of volume and punch there. And so we're going to manipulate our balance control and make sure that we can see the speaker shift from left to right when we hit our volume control. Okay, so we can see our meters now. So we'll take our balance all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and back to center. Okay. And now I'm going to demonstrate the virtual fader function. And we're going to start with our tone control in the center position because we need a little room to rotate it. To activate the virtual fader, we're going to rotate this tone control twice to the right, each time returning it to its original position. And after you do your 2 quick turns, you're going to hear 4 beeps through the speakers. And at that time, you can go ahead and use that tone control to adjust your front-rear fader balance. So we're going to go ahead and activate that right now. Put this thing in the corner, put your unit in the corner of the screen so we can see what we're doing here. Okay. Okay, no. If you could kind of step over that way a little bit. Somebody's blocking the. There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, now we can see our unit. Okay, let's activate that virtual fader function. Okay, there's our beeps. Okay, and now the fader's adjusting the front, rear, front, rear. And then once we stop adjusting it, it'll wait about 2 seconds, and then you'll hear 1 beep letting you know that the setting is saved. And there's the 1 beep. And after that 1 beep, now you're back to being a tone control.
I got it. Cool.
And while you're adjusting the fader, The tone control is not at the optimum listening position because you had to turn it, back it up a little bit to make yourself room. So after you adjust your virtual fader, you'll want to return that tone control to the position that you like the sound of. Okay, and hopefully I've got these push buttons set to FM stations. We'll bring the radio back into the picture. Okay, looks like I didn't preset these, so just to make sure it works, we'll preset this button to that station. Make sure it comes back to it. Okay. All right, and now we're going to switch to AM, which will be the same as it was before. You just hit the switch back over to AM, and you're hearing your familiar staticky sound of AM, and it might still pick up our strong station. It is sundown, past sundown, but let's just see what we got. There's the weaker station that we get. And should get another one about 11:30. Okay, there we go. There's our 11:30 station. Okay, so we'll go back to FM just for fun. And the only thing left to test is the line input. So we'll test that real quick. And to do that, I just feed a quick test tone into it, just to make sure it triggers the automatic changeover. And I'm looking for a little, here we are, just a little plug that I put in there. And we're just going to plug this thing in. And as soon as we feed a signal to that, the radio should stop and switch over to the aux input. So, we've got our little ground hooked up here. Alright. See if it switches. Okay, there's the right side and the left side, and that checks the aux function. Now, after you finish with using the aux function, there is about a 15-second delay before the radio comes back on. That is due to a VOX circuit, a VOX. It stands for voice operated switch, and it's designed to hold on to the signal a little bit longer than it needs to, so that during silent patches in between songs, it's not constantly switching back, back and forth. So about 7 more seconds, and there comes our radio back. And if you don't like the delay, all you got to do is turn the unit off, right back on, and it cancels out that delay. It'll come right back on. So that's that was a fairly uneventful test. There's no 8-track player or anything, so there's not a whole lot to test. So this basically completes the test.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to bring you guys back into the picture here, so the audience can see your pretty faces.
I don't know about that.
Alrighty, and if you want to, there you are. If you want to face to your right a little bit and say bye-bye to our
thank you
listening
very much.
and viewing audience, and thank you, Matt Tremont, for your business, and I'm looking forward to doing one for you guys out there too.
Thanks, Barry.
Alrighty, and I'm going to switch back to my pretty face for a moment here just to give a little salutation. This is Barry with Barry's 8-track and classic car radio repair. For the first time since I started making videos with the customer present on the test of the unit, I got really lucky. It works. If you have an 8-track player in need of service or a classic car AM radio you would like to convert to FM with the possibilities of adding Bluetooth and USB also, you can reach me directly at 928-533-9666. You can also visit my very informative website, Barry's8trackrepair.com. That's BARRYS, number 8, trackrepair.com. And wait, there's more. If you act now, I have another website that's easier to remember, and that is simply classiccarradiorepair.com. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Okay.